a video, and this video is going to be called Strange Movies I Loved Growing Up. So these are movies that are, they're kind of strange movies. Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. And the ones that aren't are just strange for me to have loved so much at the age I was. But yes, these are movies I watched growing up that I loved, but they're kind of weird, and it's weird to think, I loved that then. Yeah, so they kind of age range a bit, but this first one I saw when I was about 11, I'd say. What is it? It's a 12, so it wasn't, you know, it was kind of around the right age that I could watch it, and it's a bit dusty actually, it's been in my cupboard. It is Drop Dead Fred. This movie was so much fun. I loved this movie when I was younger. Yeah, I'm sure I was like about 11ish, and I just thought it was so funny. I don't know, I thought it was the greatest thing. I watched it over and over and over, and it's a weird movie. It's about this woman who had an imaginary friend called Drop Dead Fred when she was a child, and personally when I was younger I loved the flashbacks the best. There's flashbacks in it showing her as a child with Drop Dead Fred, and they're so funny. And this little kid is great. Anyway, now she's older and he returns, and it's just like inconvenient. It's so much fun. It's really, really funny. If you haven't seen Drop Dead Fred, I recommend you check it out. But it's kind of over the top silly at points, but when I was younger I thought that was so funny. If I watched it for the first time now, I can't imagine what I'd think about it, but it has such a nostalgic purpose to me that I just, it's so good. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Drop Dead Fred, I highly recommend that you just kind of maybe give it a watch. It's just funny and weird. I mean, the concept itself, you can see what I mean. But yeah, it's a really great movie. Definitely recommend Drop Dead Fred. Now, the next one is, I don't know if it's that weird. I mean, I thought it was weird when I was younger, but I haven't watched it for years, so I'm a bit rusty on the remembrance of it. But it's a Tom Hanks movie, and it is The Burbs. It was weird. I was again about, maybe was a bit younger when watching this one. I think I was maybe about 9, 10, 11. I watched it, but as with Drop Dead Fred, I watched it and watched it continuously for quite a few years. I watched it a lot. So The Burbs basically is about Tom Hanks, and I think he's like taking some, I need to watch all these again actually soon because they're fantastic. Tom Hanks is like taking some time off work or something. He's got like a holiday break and they don't want to go away, he just kind of wants to relax. And then he notices, I don't know if the neighbours have just moved in or whether he starts noticing it, but he starts noticing something weird about his neighbours, and he kind of comes up with this theory that they are like murdering people or burying people in the back garden, or there's something that's going on weird, and he starts to like conjure up this plan and tries to figure out what's going on with the neighbours, and it's so funny, but it is very weird. It's just a weird movie, but I love it. It's so good. Yeah, I've loved it for years, and I think it's such a funny movie, but I never really hear anyone talking about it. Watch The Burbs, it's so great. But I look back and think, bit of a weird movie to like at that age. I mean, granted, I loved the normal movies that you'd like at that age, but then again, it's a funny age, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's just a weird age. What do you like then? I don't know, but I liked these movies. So yeah, check out The Burbs. If you're a fan of Tom Hanks, then you haven't seen this, just watch this one, it's great, I love it. Now the next one, I have it, but I can't find it, and I was going to put it in, I was like, oh yeah, and then I couldn't find it anywhere, and it's Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is so funny, but so weird. I actually watched it last year, around Halloween, for the first time in a couple of years, and it's weird. It's very, very, very weird. It's kind of about these two people who die and then they are still in the world and they're half stuck, and Beetlejuice is this crazy, I can't even explain Beetlejuice, it's just weird. You must have heard of Beetlejuice, I'm sure. I loved the dance kind of bit, if that makes sense to anybody. I just loved Beetlejuice, and I do have it somewhere, but I just couldn't find it. I was like, where is it? And I don't know. So, in its place, not in its place because I've just mentioned it, but as well, another one, which isn't necessarily a weird movie. Well, it is a bit, but I loved it when I was younger, and I feel like, I don't know, it's Edward Scissorhands. Now this movie is probably one of my favourites in the pile here. This movie is so good, Johnny Depp, Tim Burton, but I think it's weird that I just, looking at my own self, then again my tastes are a bit random as we can see, I just find it weird that I liked this so much when I was younger. But yeah, it's such a good movie. I mean, everyone knows what Edward Scissorhands is about, so I'm not going to really go into it, but I loved this one as well. I think it's a little bit of a strange choice, so I'm going to throw that one in there. Yeah, I loved this movie. And then finally, when I was 11, I saw this movie for the first time. I thought it was the most fantastic thing I've ever seen. I watched it over and over and over. I watched scenes over and over and over, and this movie isn't strange. Well, It's not strange, it's very strange for my age to have liked it. I don't know why I liked it, but I loved it very, very much. I got the soundtrack, I think it was fantastic. And it is Moulin Rouge. This movie, it's a 15, but I watched it and there was one scene that you might wish to fast forward if. I didn't really understand it, so it didn't really matter. Basically, the movie actually is about this woman, Satine, who is essentially she's a courtesan, and you know, people pay her for her time. I guess. Does that make we know what we mean? Anyway, so that's technically, I didn't know that when I was that age. It isn't way go into. I mean, it's mentioned. I understand it now. But at the time, I didn't really understand it in full. I didn't care. I just liked the movie. The movie is set in the Moulin Rouge, which, you know, in Paris, and it's just so beautiful. Baz Luhrmann directed this. I'm a big fan of Baz Luhrmann. Have been ever since I love this movie. This movie is a fantastic film. We've got Ian McGregor, who tries to win the heart of Satine, but she's like, no, because she doesn't do love. And it's just a weird movie, but it's so good, and it's a musical. I love the music. It's just such a good movie. I mean, but I think now it's fantastic. But then I look back and think, oh, well, but I guess it was all the colours and the dancing and the music and all that I loved. But there's so much more to it now I'm older. I'm like, oh wow, you know, it is a great movie. So I had good movie taste. I think this is a good movie. Some people will argue that, but personally I think it's great. I love it. I mean, I guess it's because I've loved it for so long, but yeah, I loved this movie. This probably was my favourite movie when I was younger. I'm not even gonna lie. This was like the best thing I have thought. I used to watch it so much. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's Moulin Rouge, and that's not really a strange movie. It's just a strange choice for my favourite when I was younger. So yeah, those are some of my movies that I enjoyed that I think are kind of a bit strange and quirky to like when I was younger. Now I want to know yours. Let me know down in the comments below what movies you enjoyed when you were younger that you're like, huh, that was a strange choice for me then. Yeah, I'm sure you've got some movies that you enjoyed that are a little bit strange. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It was just a random little idea I had, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to share with you guys and you to share with me. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment below like I say. Subscribe if you hadn't already, or if you are a newbie face, and I'll see you then. Keep smiling, peeps. Goodbye!